it it says you can't claim that there's multiple people
Exactly,
inside of
James.
banks
Thank you.
or in media that are all Jewish, or you're anti-Semitic. And that's the truth. Like, it's the truth. What are we talking about? And
elaborate. What do you mean? You mean
I'm saying, like, I've been labeled anti-Semite, right? So there's different beliefs about our bloodlines, like the documentary that Kyrie posted. And in general, America has been left ignorant and history has been changed.
Thank you.
So when we start questioning things that question the indoctrination, then you immediately get, you said debanked, or what did you say happened to you? Or
demonetized, deplatformed.
Demonized, demonetized. And what's so beautiful about this time is everyone got to see.
Don't tell me what to do, Mark.
What's really been happening. And now we can really understand. We can see that Ron Emanuel was right next to Obama, and then Jared Kushner was right next to Trump.
That sounds a little anti-Semitic. It does. Now, listen, I really, okay, in regards to the anti-Semite stuff, I have such mixed feelings about this. I really, really do. I really have mixed feelings. On one hand, in regards to free AD, I'm not debotanize. I think that's what you mean. Okay, so I believe that we exist in a time when we need to push the bounds of free speech. I am obviously not opposed to pushing the bounds of free speech. I myself have been called an anti-Semite for tweeting some spicy things when I was trolling people that some might say push the bounds of free speech. I do think that that is important to do. And because we live in a time where everyone is so overly offended by absolutely everything, that I think it's important that we help people to develop a little bit of a thicker skin. I think we live in a society of snowflakes. I think people are always looking to be offended by something so they can cancel someone. And the only way you combat that is by teaching people to grow the F up and learn to be around words they don't like without declaring words or violence, okay? On the other hand, I personally, and I'm not suggesting this be legislated or outlawed or banned or anything like that, I personally have a problem with demonizing an entire group of people based on, well, something that many of them were born into. Most of them were born into. Like, you can convert and become a Jew, but the vast majority of them don't. The vast majority of them are born into the Jewish family. It's in their bloodline. And so I have a lot of personal issue with stereotyping an entire group based on how they were born. It's one of those things where I think that Kanye West should be allowed to say what he wants. But I also understand why people are a little persnickety about this. I really do. And I have very mixed feelings about and in some respects, and this might get me into trouble, but whatever. I don't agree with what Kanye West is saying, but I like and appreciate that he is pushing the bounds of free speech. I like and appreciate that he is triggering people. I kind of like that I hear what Kanye West is saying, and I go, oh God, he really said that? I kind of like that in a weird, sick way, because that means at least he's doing something interesting. He's doing something we don't hear a lot of, and I think that that's good. But just on a deep personal level, I don't like where he's going with this. That's my personal thing. I'm not suggesting he be canceled. I'm just saying for me. Sin says Carlin was right. Just wanted to say that. Thank you, Sin. I appreciate that, guys. The rule is that anytime that I am right and you are wrong, you owe me a $2 super chat as penance. It's a joke. It's not real, but you can make it real if you want to, but like you don't really have to. All right, guys, mount that like button for me. Thank you. Oh my God, look at the chat. That's awful. I feel like I'm on Gab. Oh my God. Oh, that's awful. I just saw the chat. Oh my God.
But so, so we're getting right into it, I guess, right? I was hoping to go for the news first before we got into all of this stuff. I think the issue is one way to put it is you're expounding upon a localization issue that you've witnessed, right? Let me clarify. There are a handful of people that you see are Jewish in a certain place, and then you associate Judaism with the power whereas I view that as not relevant to it. Like, yeah, you're substantially more powerful than I am, but I don't view what you're doing as an issue of Black people.
Yeah, but have you ever heard the term the Black vote? So it's okay to put us in one net, but it's not okay for me to put them in one net.
It's
Yeah, but
not
I mean,
the same thing.
That's the basis of the hypocrisy that people have been thinking about and knowing about and realizing for decades.
That's not
We
the
were
same
all
thing.
wondering how this dam was going to break. Everybody in the country was wondering what is the root of this hypocrisy? Why can people talk about white people a certain way? Why can't they talk about that group a certain way? And the wretched and wicked and oppressive prevailing orthodoxy of cancel culture. Well, it turned out that the one thing that was going to break the dam was the biggest star in the world, and it took the biggest star in the world to do it. And now the dam is.
Hang on, someone asked a question. What should someone be canceled for? I don't think people should be canceled. I don't. I think that people should say what they want to say, and then if people want to watch or listen to that person, they should be able to do that. But I also think people should be able to exercise their choice not to listen to that person. I don't listen to Nick Fuentes. I think Nick Fuentes is a hateful jackass, a hateful authoritarian jackass. I don't spend any money on Nick Fuentes. I don't listen to Nick Fuentes. I would not encourage anyone to listen to Nick Fuentes. I will talk about what a horrible, hateful jackass I think Nick Fuentes is. I think it's bad. But do I think that Nick Fuentes should be canceled? No, I really don't. I really don't. I think the way you fight speech is with more speech and better speech. And I think you fight bad ideas with good ideas. And I think that we've lost that. And I also think that people are really addicted to outrage in our culture now. And I think the outrage addiction that I see, especially on social media, is going to become a very big problem because it just makes people in a constant state of looking for something that's bad rather than looking for things that are good. And so I think if you don't like someone or you don't like something, don't watch them. Move on to the next thing. There is more than enough content for someone to be entertained by things that suit them rather than trying to destroy something that someone else likes. I mean, I don't watch Milo either. I don't like Milo. Okay, every once in a while in very small doses, I think he can be interesting, but like it's just not my personal cup of tea.
Bank for the longest.
I want to point out what Mama Tembo is saying in the chat because I do think that this is really important. Guys, when I do drama streams like this, I also like to teach sage life lessons because if I have you here, I might as well share things that I think are valuable. Mama says it's not bad to listen to people or arguments you don't like or agree with. You don't have to agree or respond. You can always make a more compelling argument. Normalize regulating the nervous system. I am a very big fan of listening to arguments that I disagree with. I think everyone should listen to arguments that they disagree with. We do Socialism Saturdays on my channel, Saturdays at 6 p.m., where we listen to literal socialists. I don't agree with socialists, but I want to know what their arguments are, and I will sit there for 3 hours and listen to them and dissect their arguments so that I can understand them and I can understand their perspectives. We need to be listening to people that we disagree with, to really make sure that we understand what they are saying. But B, if we end up disagreeing with what they're saying, then we need to know how to combat that and come up with better arguments. So I don't shy away from listening to people I disagree with, even if I disagree with them strongly. And sometimes, guess what? You even end up changing your mind. You end up being convinced.